When looking at present gadgets, they have been very strong, but gadgets back in the days were a bit more out of hand. So we'll be checking out some of those old gadgets, starting with Silver Bullet. Now, Silver Bullet is Cole's second gadget, released on November 27, 2020. Now, it's a simple gadget that makes his next attack break walls while piercing and dealing an insane amount of damage back then. And for comparison with his damage, it's around 218% higher in damage than right now. And you have to remember, stats were way lower back then, so this was a very huge deal. And this gadget was used very offensively and could easily take down half their health. But if you're a drawer, well, you're kinda dead technically. But you may be wondering, why is this gadget so high in damage? Well, if we look at how Silver Bullet's damage works, it's equivalent to 6 ammos back in the days instead of 2 right now. So that's why it's so high. But oh boy, Supercell ignored this for a month. And while this month, there was a bug that amplified his damage and did not show he was about to nuke you, which thankfully they did end up actually solving it. But thank goodness they actually solved that on January 14, 2021. They changed it from 6 explosive damage to 2, which did make this gadget more balanced, and this actually gave his first gadget a chance, which was supposed to be the damage gadget, not Silver Bullet. So yeah. But next up is Paws. Paws is a gadget that stuns nearby enemies with spruce for 0.5 seconds. But back in the day, released on March 17, 2020, it could instantly stun enemies. Now, you might not find this as a big deal, but if you get stunned by Hyper Bear Bruce, well, you can die pretty dang easily. And this was so bad that they actually had to lower the usage to 2, which rarely happened to any brawlers in the game on May 13th. But they did later revert this change and added a 1-second delay before stunning, which did make this gadget more balanced out and actually possible to avoid. But speaking of ammo-related brawlers, let's talk about Crow, with his defense booster gadget. Released on the same day as every first gadget. Now, back in the day, it used to be able to block 60% instead of 30% of damage for 3 seconds. Now, if you aren't familiar with shield stats, let's compare a few shield gadgets. Like Frag's for blocking only 35% upcoming damage from Bruce, or Tick's last hurrah gadget only having a 50% shield, and as you can see, Crow's is way higher than that, blocking more damage compared to their present gadgets. And this shield was very useful both offensively and defensively, and to show how broken it was, well, Supercell actually lowered this one also to 2 on April 7, 2020, but of course this gadget was still too good because they didn't tinker with it. On December 15th, they nerfed the shield to 40% and increased it back to 3 usage. Now it's decent, but slowing Toxic was kind of more power creep than this gadget, so yeah, this gadget isn't being used that much. Alright, our final one has a lot of you guys reminded of some horrible trauma, which is Surge's old first gadget, Power Surge, a gadget that allows Surge to teleport between walls, and if Surge ever gets close to you, you can get bursted pretty easily. Now, this gadget was really annoying in Showdown, since you really need to avoid those walls if you see one. Now, I honestly really hate this gadget back in the days, because ever since its release on July 6, 2020, this gadget had like 0 changes, like for 2 years, which caused a lot of raging in showdowns for 2 years. But then guess after those 2 years, it got reworked because this gadget doesn't completely cure Surge, because he kinda had too much flaws. So now in temporary upgrade Surge, but you know how I mentioned he has too much flaws right now? Well, check out this video.